You're watching the Hong Kong Racing Show. Andrew Brown and Alex Evers, wherever he is, with you. We're back from Saratoga and ready to rip into a big Friday night / Saturday morning of racing action from Sha Tin. Yes, racing 24 hours earlier than normal this weekend from Hong Kong. But Alex, first up, how was your Saratoga?
It was good, other than dislocating my shoulder, but got it back in, got some good pictures. So other than that, it was a wonderful experience and got to hang out with my old mate Chris Griffin, caller at Aqueduct, and a lot of good stories, a lot of good times, and great photos.
Yeah.
Got our boy Junior Alvarado on this week. I mean, it's been a good week.
Well, that's right. You took some great photos of Junior, and we kind of used that as leverage to see if he would come back on the show again this week. Because, of course, he joined us after the Kentucky Derby, and he obliged. He's waiting. He's ready to join us. He's in the green room at the moment. What do you say? Should we bring him in?
Yeah, let's cut to this first. Let's go.
All right, we will be back with some Hong Kong racing news, plenty of news, and we're going to look at the card at Sha Tin as well and give you some picks and analysis. But first of all, let's bring in Junior. Well, it's terrific to have Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes winning jockey Junior Alvarado join us on the show once again. Junior, I want to start with the moment that everyone's been talking about, that incredible show of sportsmanship between you and Berto Rispoli post race. What was more surprising to you, Sovereignty winning the Belmont or Umberto going in for that big kiss after the race?
It's funny because I didn't realize about the kiss until I got back and then guys in the jocks room they're just joking with me and teasing me a little bit about it. I was like, what are you? Then I'm looking at it. It's like, oh, whatever. But no, definitely, I was more like the way my horse run. I was very, 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 incredibly happy, and it was a monster performance. I was just like in the moment, like I said, I got the kids, and I didn't even get to, think too much about it.
We're chatting just after you won the Kentucky Derby, and it was a hugely busy week for you. You're throwing out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium and everything else you got up to. What exciting things have you been up to in the week after winning the Belmont?
Well, I yesterday actually I got invited to the Mets game, but it was just normal. Just I think it was like a friend that he just invited me to go. But then right after the Belmont, like the I know it was one of those bad boy from the Yankee Stadium. They work for the Yankees. They invited me to do something with Jazz Network, and we went in the morning with Javier and Johnny Velasquez, and we went kind of to a Venezuelan restaurant in the city. We did this kind of, the guy was doing like trying different food, but I think that's a show that they're connecting with they do it together with the Yes Network, so they want to kind of like put the jockeys up there and do something about the jockeys. So we were kind of trying food at the restaurant in the city, and it was a very nice recording set. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Just hanging with Johnny V and Javier at a nice restaurant in New York City. Gosh, you're
Yeah,
just like a superstar now.
yeah, I figured, it was great too. I asked them, like, "Hey, can I bring a couple of jockeys?" I didn't want to do it just by myself. I just,
Yeah.
said, and they said like, yeah, whatever you want. So I asked Johnny Javier, those two are great ambassador for the sport. So I figured it would be easy even for me to interact with all three and everybody. We just, like since when he told me, he mentioned it, like, I want you put you guys in the spotlight. I want you two guys, people get to know you jockeys. So I said like, well, think it would be just perfect to bring Javier and Johnny. They're very well spoken to, and then they've been they're Hall of Famers. So
Yeah.
I thought it will help for sure.
Two legends there. Well, three legends now, having you won a Derby and a Belmont, right? So let's talk the Belmont. And in one of your post race comments, Junior, I heard you say that Sovereignty took two big breaths, and you knew at that point the rest of the field was going to be in trouble. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Andrew, yes, like this is things that you learn, I think, with more experience to kind of like connect a little bit more with the horse and kind of feel what they're feeling when they're through the race. And I think, it was probably right when he switched leave and the half a mile pole. Right at that moment, actually, Luis Saez is making a move in the rail, and that's when my horse is kind of taking a deep breath, and I didn't want to kind of like engage at the moment to hold my spot. Just like he's taking a deep breath right now. Let me just let a bit, and then after that, I'll make my move. But like I said, like at that moment, that was just like, to me, it was just like the perfect time. I knew after he take those deep big breath, like he kind of jump back again in the bridle, and I could feel the power. He just like, whenever you're ready, like, get me out. Even though I felt like, even coming into the first turn, he was already in the bridle and he was traveling beautifully. But after those two big deep breaths he took in the half of my pole, that was like him telling me, like, whenever we'll make the run, I'm ready for you. And that's what kind of you kind of hope for that, always to feel that with the horses in the race. They're ready. They're like, okay, I'm ready. That's the signal they're giving to you. That's why I say, like, this horse so easy to ride, and he's so smart, and he almost talked to me. Or any jockey that I think that he can ride him. He just give you all the signal for you to know and be ready and be confident with him.
Yeah,
It
that's
seems like we saw another dimension of him too, where he was traveling closer up and he was in the race early. That seems like it's going to make him that much more difficult to beat going forward, right?
I'll hope so. I'll hope he gonna start running that way where he can put himself a little closer, because it will make my things. It will make things. I mean, he makes it easier, to be honest. But I mean, I think for me, if you put yourself out there, there is no way, if it's a slow pace, medium pace, whatever, however the pace develop. I think just being somewhere in there forward place, it's just gonna be hard, because then when you turn him on, he'll just keep grinding, and like I say, the closer you are, the harder for everybody else to get away will be.
yeah, no, for sure. Do, Junior, do you think? I mean, obviously hindsight's always a wonderful thing, but in your personal opinion, given the emphatic nature in which he won the Belmont on Saturday, and yes, he did have 5 weeks off, so he was nice and fresh and all that stuff. But do you think, in your opinion, he would have won the Triple Crown had he contested the Preakness and then backed up 3 weeks later?
You know, it'll be very hard. I would say, like, I can, the way he run in the Belmont, I will of course say, like, yes, he probably would have won the Preakness and the Belmont, but will he run the same way with the short amount of time of rest? That I don't know. It's always gonna be, listen, it's gonna be a question mark for me too, and like I said, I will have to live with it, and I'm okay with it too. I'm very happy with the decision of skipping, and like I say, but it's always will be a question mark. I think he could, but the reality is, like, we will never know.
Yeah. Look, and you're a double crown winner, and I mean, it's just fantastic, isn't it? And we've got a horse, as racing fans, to watch for the rest of the season, which is going to be fantastic. Alex, I've got something for you. You have been able to see so many of the world's best horses step out on the track and race with your own eyes over these last 12 months or so. Where does, sort of, when you're looking at a horse like Sovereignty in comparison to, say, Romantic Warrior or Kaiying Rising and Voyage Bubble, do they all sort of carry themselves in a similar way, or what similarities do you notice between all those horses and photographing all those horses?
You kind of mentioned it last week with the track work of the horses leading up to it, and the grade one winners look like grade one winners on the track. But I saw him the first morning I saw him was the Friday morning, or sorry, Friday morning before Derby, and then the Saturday morning he galloped through just like a little light piece of track work in the slot, and he looked incredible. And it's the same thing. They carry themselves with that big chest and that confidence, and they move like a good horse. They look like a good horse. It's just one of those. When you see thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures and races and this, that, the other, at least for me, for Sovereignty specifically, he's running against good horses too. You know how good journalism is, and it's almost like a throwback to the 80s and 90s when we had those rivalries, which we've kind of lacked for so many years. Now we see these two run twice again. Maybe they meet in the Travers, maybe they meet in the Breeders' Cup Classic, the Bi World Cup, even potentially with being a Godolphin horse. But I think it's the level of competition and then the way they which and do them. Like Romantic Warrior's running against Golden 60, Voyage Bubble is running against Romantic Warrior. This one's running against journalism. I think you need that yin to their yang to show how great they truly are, win or lose, right? Because journalism is a quality horse, and you don't have that without the other one running against him. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, no, that's a some great thoughts there. Junior, did you get a chance to see some of Alex's sensational photos that he took of you? Not just Belmont the other day, but also the Kentucky Derby. He's a grade one photographer.
Absolutely, no, he is. He's one of the best shots that I've ever seen. Are from Alex, but the one that is like I want the picture because I want to have it in my house, probably
Make that
paint
happen.
it. Is the head on like coming into the first turn? I
Yeah.
guess you can see his face. He looks like an army horse going on into a
Yeah.
going for with a mission. Like you can see like that is just like something different. Like and that's what I felt when I remember getting on the horse. I can see him in the pattern. Then when I got on and walking out to the track at the bottom, I mean, he was just like something differently than any other horse that I ran. And I ridden quite a great one horses too, but what this guy was like showing in the post parade, like it was just incredible. I was like, man, I hope he's just not fooling myself here right now, like because I mean, he seems like he's about to like do something extremely nice, and he did that. But the picture there, the photo that he captured right there says it all.
I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie, I had my camera set up for celebration because I was expecting my Italian buddy to go crazy. And then you won both races, but you gave incredible celebrations right where I was, so I wasn't that upset. I just want a nice picture because we're gonna there to celebrate the sport. But both of them when you're up like this, it's just I was like, oh, those are so nice. So thank you for giving me such wonderful photos.
No, no, that's another one that that one probably will have it in my room, like that, the both like almost like the same, and the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont, like both like pointing up, like those are like amazing, similar shot.
Yeah, they're both awesome shots, and I agree with that one of Sovereignty going in the first turn. Like I saw that for the first time. It just looks like this warrior, but as you say, like an army horse. It's sensational. I might have to get that photo off you too, Alex.
Oh, we can make that happen. I know a guy. I got a photo guy.
Hey, boys, the latest Longines World's Best Racehorse rankings have come out in the last sort of 24 hours or so, and Sovereignty officially ranked the best 3-year-old in the world, equal fourth best horse in the world. He's got a couple of Hong Kong horses ahead of him, Ka Ying Rising and Romantic Warrior, and Forever Young from Japan as well, of course, in top spot. Junior, you probably don't need lists like this to tell you how good Sovereignty is, but how does it feel knowing you are associated now with officially the world's best 3-year-old on turf or dirt?
Yeah, no, it is. It is amazing. It is, it's just amazing. I thought it was but then you have to kind of win some few good races to the world really know that your horse belongs in the top, with the best horses. And I think he just after the huge performance in the Belmont, he just showed the he belonged and the top right there with all the good horses in the world.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Junior, given that you've been riding for Bill Mott for many, many years now, would you say that you know Bill pretty well?
I do. I think so. He's a pretty conservative man, but I will have to think so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's good because I've got a game for us to play, and on the line, depending on how well you perform in this game, are some Hong Kong International Race Day caps. We've got a few of them here. Depending on how well you answer these questions,
Beautiful.
uh, every answer you get right, we're going to give away one hat. I've got 4 quotes and you have to decide whether this was something that Bill Mott said or something that he didn't say. Okay. The game is called Mott or Not. So if you think Bill said it, you say Mott. If you don't think he said it, you just say Not. So are you ready for Mott or Not?
All right, I am ready for Matt or not.
Okay. All right. Statement number 1. Not only is Junior an exceptional rider, he's also exceptionally good looking. He could be a model if he wasn't a jockey.
Not, not. I wouldn't think that will ever say that.
You are correct. Bill Mott did not say that. That was made up. Okay, one hat. We're giving away one hat so far.
He
All right.
probably thought about it, but I didn't. I never thought. I never think he would ever say that.
All right. Statement number 2. There was no reason physically why we couldn't have run in the Preakness. We had no excuse other than we didn't feel like
Yeah, that's smart. He did
it.
say that. We didn't feel like it.
All right, we've got two hats to give away now. Statement number 3. If Umberto didn't beat me to it, I would have kissed Junior first.
No, that's not smart. I wouldn't think so.
Correct. 3 from 3. I've given you some easy ones. All
Those
right.
are easy, yes.
Statement number 4. I'd love to come back and take a crack at the Travers in August. It's a race I've never won, but I think it's a very important race for a 3-year-old like Sovereignty.
That's smart for sure.
Ding, ding, ding. 4 from 4. That's all
Yeah.
the hats I have.
Good.
Congratulations. He got them all right.
Yeah, so this one was more easy than the last time. Well, I wouldn't, I mean, I should have known the other ones too, you know. It was, I don't know how I missed so many answers last time.
No, you did well last time. And actually, there's a competition running at the moment. We finally got those Hildebrand ice cream hats, and there's a giveaway going on at the moment, thanks to you answering 2 of those questions correctly last time. Alex, I think you had a question about ice cream, didn't you? Speaking of ice
Yeah, I
cream.
was gonna say, is that the secret fuel for sovereignty? You guys are sneaking him a little ice cream before the races. He gets going.
It could be. He have tried a couple times. I know the owner have bringing in a couple time ice cream to the barn. So, you know, he have tried. So it could be. It could be.
All right.
I also wanted to say, just because you and Umbi are both fathers, the show you guys put on of sportsmanship throughout the Triple Crown is an inspiration to kids and racing fans and everybody out there. And I know there's so many more eyes on with the Netflix show, and we have influencers now tweeting about racing. So just you did a wonderful job out there as an ambassador for the sport, and you can really tell how much you love the horses, not just their own that you ride, but all of them that gave all of us such a wonderful life. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I was very happy. You know, the Umberto get close because, and then you know, like I said, without thinking, I'm pretty sure what he did was without even thinking it. Was just more out of his heart what he did, and like I said, like I feel that, and like I said, like nothing there was planned because you don't know who's gonna win, you don't know who's so it was just very natural, and I think I think a lot of people kind of felt that way too. They saw that what we were doing, just something more that was coming very natural, and like I say, we do this for the horses. The horses are the one that do like most of the part right there. They're the one that run hard in the track, and like without them, nobody have anything. So you always have to be very grateful, no matter what. As long as they give you what they got, as long as they try, all you can do is thank him for taking you for the ride. Simple. That's what it is. And there's always you gotta let them know because they know that when they're being appreciated for sure.
Absolutely. Beautifully said.
Absolutely, yeah. And look, we're hoping, I guess that with any luck, there might be a rematch, if not sooner, in the Breeders' Cup Classic in Del Mar in November. And it would be great to see journalism v sovereignty this time on journalism's home turf, perhaps in the Breeders' Cup Classic later on in the year. And then, with any luck, Alex and I are still working on then getting you and Umberto over to Hong Kong for the International Jockeys Challenge. Alex is a lot more influential than me with the Hong Kong Jockey Club, so we'll get Alex onto it.
I'm
All
gonna work on
right.
that. I know there's no agents, but I could broker some deals. I know a guy. I got a jockey guy too.
All right. Well, it's in your side now. I'm waiting for you.
All right, well, Junior, thanks again for joining us, and congratulations on just a phenomenal Triple Crown season. It's been awesome, watching you and Sovereignty and the whole team. I just want to, second everything that Alex just said there too. Your sportsmanship with both you and Umberto and your horses. It's been terrific to watch, and I hope that a lot of other new eyeballs have been on you guys during this time as well, and you've attracted them into the sport. So thank you, sir, and we can't wait to follow you for the rest of the year.
Andrew, Alex, thank you so much again for having me.
Thank
It
you,
was a
brother.
it was a treat here to be with you guys. Thank you.
Great to spend some time talking with Junior there. Alex, I've got to say, Junior is a terrific ambassador for our sport, isn't he?
Yeah, we've got to talk to a lot of good guys this season. Junior's one of the best ones so far. I've loved having the conversations. We got to get him, Purton, and Rispoli in a room together.
Oh, geez. There'll be fireworks, those three.
IJC. IJC maybe.
Yeah, I think he's up for it. So we're going to make it happen. Whoever's watching, Ben Tam. Do you think Ben Tam can help us?
Ben, anybody who's watching, let's get Junior to IJC. He can represent U.S. racing. A great ambassador. We get him and Humby there together.
Yeah, I think it'd be phenomenal. I mean, as I sort of pointed out, that won the 3 Triple Crown races. We need some American representation at IJC. Umby might be there anyway, possibly, if we get Johannes there. So yeah, it could be an IJC for the ages. But anyway, let's talk some more Hong Kong racing and some Hong Kong racing news, Alex. Some of the biggest news this week has to be that of trainer James Cummings, one of Australia's most decorated horsemen. And this is a major coup for the Hong Kong Jockey Club. He will join the Hong Kong training ranks at the start of the 2026-27 season. So not the start of the upcoming new season, but the season after that. James, a fourth generation trainer in Australia. His great grandfather, Jim, trained a Melbourne Cup winner in 1950. His grandfather, Bart, absolute legend, trained a record 12 Melbourne Cups, and his father, Anthony, had plenty of a couple of dozen Group 1s as well. And same with his brother, Edward, trained a few Group 1s. So this is just an unbelievable coup for the Jockey Club to have James Cummings, someone has decorated him, joining the training ranks in a couple of seasons' time.
Yeah, and the table is looking tough, man. You got him, John Size, Hazy, Eustace, Noonan. I mean, it's getting tight there. Then who's not to say one day that the brothers, Hayes' boys, come over and train over there as well? It's good though. It's good to have top end trainers out there. And again, with the limited number of horse supply where everyone's kind of limited to, I believe, 60 or 70 horses, it creates such a competitive environment for racing, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to that. Interesting that the announcement was made so far in advance. So it'll be sort of interesting to see what happens with James between now and I guess that nice 6-month lead up to when I think they're allowed to start getting horses together and all that kind of stuff. But his partnership with Godolphin, he announced not too long ago, is coming to an end. So we'll be following his movements with a lot of interest between now and the start of the 2026-2027 Hong Kong racing season. Alex, some really good performances over the last week or two, particularly at Happy Valley during the week. And Hong Lok Golf made his first appearance at the city circuit a successful one.
Yeah, he's a nice horse so far. He's worked his way through the ranks, starting at level or 52 rating. He's all the way up into the 90s now. 6 wins from 7 starts this season. Super impressive. Not sure how many more runs he'll have before the season goes on, but next season he's gonna be one to keep an eye out for. And he just finishes off his run so strongly, so he's kind of a fun horse to follow for Chris So.
For Chris. So Harry Bentley, I think I'm not sure if it was his birthday on Wednesday, but certainly his birthday was around there. Maybe it was the day before. So a nice birthday present for Harry there as well. All right, well, let's have a look at the feature race at Sha Tin this weekend. Again, just take note, racing has moved. The warmer months, the push the racing back for starters. So it's now 1 a.m. Pacific is race 1 and 4 a.m. Eastern. And instead of this happening on Sunday morning, it's actually happening on Saturday morning. So 24 hours earlier this weekend. So whether you're staying up late Friday night or getting up early Saturday morning, depending where you are in the country or your sleeping habits, they are the new times. What are you going to do, Alex? Your 1 a.m. race 1.
Oh, this is getting into the danger zone for me when they start at 1 a.m. because that means I'm going to be up all night. But it gets harder and harder to watch these races. Although last year, the final meet of the season, I did stay up all night and watch Francis take the title with Patcha Theta and Huey Bowman there taking out
Right.
the last race. That was insane. We'll see what happens here at the end of the season. I know I'm the only degenerate who stays up all night to watch racing, but
I need
we'll see
I
what
need
happens.
I need a review show in the morning where I don't know the results and I can just wake up and turn it on, have my bets there ready to go, and watch it as live because it's a bit difficult for me.
Like a red zone for Hong Kong racing. A
Yes,
little like yeah, cut it down into like a 5-minute thing. Just pick up stretch runs.
absolutely. In fact, if
You
you're staying up watching the races, I might get you to produce the show and present the show so that then I can wake up and it's the Hong Kong Racing Review Show with Alex Evers.
At some point, I want to live stream one of these cards and stay up all night and just get after it and enjoy the races and track the bankroll if we can get lucky and see. That'd be kind of a fun one to live stream a racing event of Hong Kong racing at night and give out my picks all night and just see how truly bad I am. There's a reason I stay behind the lens and not in front of it, not giving out tips. Camera jockey over here.
No, for sure. All right. Well, race 8 is the feature at Sha Tin. It's the HKU Business School and Faculty of Engineering Handicap. Hello to all the students at that school, at the business school there. Hopefully, they're studying some probability of winning at the races. And number 1, Raging Blizzard, I should say, resumes from a break. Has trialled well coming into this. The ever consistent Bottomuptogether is number 2. Zach Purton rides. Number 3, Wunderbar, the horse who beat Kai Rising twice earlier in his career, was 8th when resuming, but gets barrier 1 here. Other chances include 10, Harmony Blessed, who should be able to take advantage of a nice lightweight. The speed map shows Call Me Glorious and Bottomuptogether setting the pace up front. Wunderbar and Harmony and Bless getting nice runs behind. Alex, who do you like in the feature race at Sha Tin this weekend?
It's wild to see Wunderbar having beat Kai Rising twice last season, but he's kind of fallen off for him here. I like Bottomuptogether to go to the front here and have a good forwardly placed trip with Zach Purton aboard. C+3 course. It's hard to make up ground on those C+3 courses with the rail being out so far. So I do think it does tend to play a little bit to more forwardly placed horses. In behind him on the picks, I've got Call Me Glorious. I think he'll just kind of overtake him and not be able to stay on. And then Harmony and Blessed at the lightweight for third with Karis Teeton aboard for Hazy. Brownie, what about you?
I'm going to give Wunderbar a chance here, but I'm kind of hoping that I get some odds about it. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
You should.
if I can get a decent price, I'm keen to play him. I think that there's a lot of pace on. He's just going to get that nice suck run behind. I think he needed that run after the break. He has had an injury, and there are those injury concerns. But if he can reproduce some of the same form that he produced at the start of the season, and and when he beat Kai Rising and stuff, he's certainly got the talent to beat this field. So Hugh Bowman goes on. So we'll see what happens to Wunderbar then. But again, a price play for me. I wouldn't be playing him for anything less than sort of 6-1 or so. Bottomuptogether, hardest to beat, and Harmony and Blessed in for third. That's my trifecta for the feature race. My best bet in the last race, number 5, Patch of Stars. I think it's just been racing sensationally of late. Steps up in company, but the way he's been winning in Class 4 indicates he should handle the rising class. Won his last 2 in fine style. Zach Purton rides race 11, number 5, Patch of Stars for me as my best bet. What about you, Alex?
I'm looking at race 10 actually, and I'm probably going to run an exacta box. I'm a big fan of the 3-horse exacta box in Hong Kong and try to get some prices in there. But I do like Solid Shala, Packing Bull, and Gummy Gummy. But I don't know what type of odds we're going to get. Actually, there's another one. Yeah, that was what I like there. Yeah, those are the ones I like. And the all-weather dirt race to get out on the card. What time is that going to go off at? 7 a.m. for me? 8 a.m.?
No, it shouldn't be that late. It won't be that late. You on Pacific time?
Pacific time.
Race 10 or race 11?
Race 10, 8:40 Hong Kong time. So
that is 5:40 a.m.
yeah, I'm probably gonna miss that one. I just look at the barriers too. I want horses that are on the outside too all day. I don't know. That could be problematic for me.
All right. Well, good luck with your boxed exacta in the penultimate, and good luck in staying up until 5:40 in the morning. I'll actually be up at that time because I'm still on East Coast time. So I'm kind of getting up at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning at the moment.
Oh, just enough time to get one last race of action in Brownie.
Well, no, I've got race 11 as well. So you've got.
Oh, is there 11 on the card? What world am I living in?
I might be able to get a few races in live. So
There you go.
Yeah, if I'm getting up at 4:30, I'll be able to catch races 8, 9, 10, 11, the late pick 4.
That's degenerate. That is absolutely degenerate. Playing the late pick 4 starting at 4 a.m. from Solana Beach.
Pot calling the kettle black there, ladies and gentlemen. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on another edition of the Hong Kong Racing Show. It was fantastic for the Belmont Stakes-winning jockey Junior Alvarado to join us. Hopefully, For those of you watching this show in Hong Kong, you might get to see him in the flesh if we can get him off to HKIR week and the IJC a little later in December. We've got absolutely no influence whatsoever. We're just throwing it out there and we'll see what can happen. Alex, thank you to you as well. Another fine job there at Saratoga, producing all those awesome photos. And of course, thanks for all your wonderful insights on this show.
Thank you, Brownie. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week on the Hong Kong Racing Show.